Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to start collecting Warhammer, the Horus Heresy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the finest of all the legions, the Emperor's Children. Now, in this video, we're going to go through the Emperor's Children special rule, or what this legion does in particular, and gains, and then have a look at a couple of units we recommend to get started with for your collection. We'll then look at some other units we can use to expand upon those first couple of initial purchases, and finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own force of the Emperor's Children in Warhammer, the Horus Heresy. And so, to begin with, first of all, we get the special rule, Flawless Execution. On a turn in which a unit of the Emperor's Children makes a successful charge, even if that charge is disordered, models with the Emperor's Children Legion Astartes rule make their attacks at one initiative step higher in the assault. This is pretty cool, so this means if they would attack at initiative step 4, they attack at initiative step 5. Now, caveat here is after any initiative modifiers from other special rules are taken into account, so you take your negatives and your bonuses from those other special rules and then make your initiative step 1 higher. This doesn't actually change your initiative for anything, it should be noted, it just increases when you attack at the initiative step choice. So if that matters in any situation. Now, models with the Vehicle, Special Rule, and Legion Astartes Emperor's Children as well will gain a +1 to all hit rolls for defensive weapons when making shooting attack as part of a reaction. So, cool little additional bonus for your vehicles to have there to defend some of your troops. All in all, this is pretty much focusing on an army that wants to be in combat. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, where to begin with for our Emperor's Children? The first place we're going to look is this Tartaros Centurion. Now, what's really cool about this model is that it has a perfect representation for your own type of Centurion console, available specifically to the Emperor's Children, called the Phoenix Warden. Now, the Phoenix Warden will gain Skills Unmatched and the Living Icon special rules for 30 points. These are two special rules specific to this model. Skill Unmatched: when a combat involves one or more models with a special rule is resolved before the start of Initiative Step 10, the controlling player of any models in the combat with this special rule may select one of the 3 following options and apply the effects of that option to all models with a special rule for the duration of the assault phase. When a unit contains one or more models with a special rule, all models must choose the same one of these rules. So, first of all, we have a Perfect Guard. If a model or models with a skill unmatched special rule selects this option, they must increase their weapon skill by +1 for the purpose of determining the score required for enemy models to hit rolls only, but must reduce their attacks characteristic by -1. A Perfect Strike is effectively the same thing, but they must increase their weapon skill for +1 for determining the score required to hit a targeting enemy unit, which is cool, and then reduce their attacks by 1. Or a Perfect Fury: if a model or models with a skill unmatched special rule selects this option, they increase their attacks by +1 but reduce their weapon skill by -1. So some pretty interesting options on what you want to do. Now, Living Icons: a model with a special rule and all models in a friendly unit with the Legion Astartes Emperor's Children special rule, and at least one model within 6 inches of a model with a special rule, gain +1 to the score used when calculating the winner of an assault phase. The effects of this rule do not stack, and any given unit can only be affected by a single instance of this special rule. However, the effects of this special rule do stack with Fulgrim's Sire of the Emperor's Children special rule, so pretty cool there. Now, lastly, for this particular type of console, we also gain a Phoenix pattern power weapon, which could be either the Phoenix Rapier, which this model is armed with, as you can see, Strength User, AP3, Melee, Rending 6+, and Murderous Strike 6, or we can go with a Phoenix Power Spear, which is +2 Strength, AP3, Melee, Reach 1, Murderous Strike 6+, Breaching 6+, and 2-handed. So you need to do a little bit of converting to get the spear, but you might have a couple of spare of them if we look at the next unit. Now, the next unit we're going to suggest bringing along with this is, of course, a Phoenix Terminator Squad. Now, if we do have, in large games, maybe upgrading a model to have the Master of the Legion rule, so this could be to a Legion Praetor, for instance, we would be able to use this unit as a retinue, which is cool. But they are a Terminator armed unit. They're in Tartaros Terminator armor. They have Phoenix Power Spears as standard. Then you've also got the Skill Unmatched Living Icon special, as we've talked about already. Now, they can also have something interesting. They can have surgical augments, and this is available to a bunch of different Emperor's Children's units. So, effectively, characters can have these, and some of the more specialist Emperor's Children units can have access to them as well for various points cost. And you've got one of three options. You either have Sonic Shriekers, which mean during a turn in which this unit charged, all models in the enemy unit locked in combat with them suffer a -1 to hit, though any units that are immune to fear don't take this penalty. Subsonic Pulsar means they can ignore the penalties to leadership and ballistic skill imposed by night fighting. Or Sonic Lance, you gain a Strength 2 template weapon with the Assault 1, Breaching 6+, and Pinning special rules, which I particularly like. I think it's a really interesting one. And for me, I actually like this on the Phoenix Terminators, as it actually gives them a shooting attack. And 5 of them putting out, templates, Strength 2, but the aim here is really to get those breaching and pinning rules off for the unit. Now, moving on, we then have tactical squads. We do need troops for the Horus Heresy, so tactical squads are a great place to start. What they're going to do is just give you bodies on the table. You are going to have, use for them in the backfield. They can support from further back in your lines, but also when you choose to take a Rhino transport for them as well, they can move up and threaten the midfield or even the backfield as well of your opponent's lines and start grabbing objectives all around the table. So a tactical squad and a Rhino together are a fantastic place to start for your troops options. Now, of course, with Emperor's Children, we want assault, so assault squads are definitely a place to go. You can equip the unit with 2 power weapons in the unit, and then your sergeant can still have a cool combat weapon. A power fist is a good shout for a weapon, just to give you some armor penetration. And you can also choose to take a variety of different pistol weapons on 2 of the models in the unit and your sergeant as well. These could be things like your Volkite pistols, they could also be plasma pistols and hand flamers as well. So some really cool options there to play around and really sort of build on what the Emperor's Children are trying to achieve in combat. Now, the last unit I want to talk about is actually a heavy support unit, and this provides, I think, some great support for your Emperor's Children, and that is the Cacophony Squad. Now, the Cacophony have their own special weapons called the Cacophony. Now, these are 36-inch range, strength 5, AP 5 weapons. They've got the Assault 3, Gets Hot, Pinning, Shell Shock, and Deflagrate rules, so really nice, powerful weapons there. They are going to be able to have a few extra upgrades on your unit's orchestrator, who is effectively the sergeant for the unit. Can have some power weapon, power fist, chainsword, or artificer armor options in there. You've also got Sonic Shriekers built into the unit, and they are going to have options as well to take a Rhino as a dedicated transport, so you can move them around the battlefield. And a Rhino is pretty interesting for them. Yes, they're a heavy support squad, but the fact they've got assault weapons is going to make that Rhino rather useful for them. And so, moving on, we then have our sample army list here for you. Now, we're in perfect 1,000 points, and we're playing with the Emperor's Children as a Traitor Legion for this video. Now, we have our Tartaros Centurion, who, of course, is going to go and be a Phoenix Warden. We then take on the Sonic Lance upgrade for him, so a nice, cool ranged attack, but he's also going to have a Phoenix Rapier there, a minor combi weapon in his Volkite Charger. So, a nice, fun, solid character with some really cool options to play around with. We then have a Phoenix Terminator squad, which have Sonic Lancers, so 4 of them in the squad. And then we have an Assault squad, 10 models strong. We've got 2 Volkite Serpentas and a Volkite Serpenta on the Assault Sergeant there as well, so for 3 total. We then have a Power Fist on the Sergeant as well, and 2 Power Swords within the unit. Our tactical squad are going to be having a Rhino transport, Dozer Blade, which I think is just the most important upgrade you can take for some extra benefit against dangerous terrain. We've got a Heavy Flamer on there as well for a nice little bit of extra support to it. And then we have a Cacophony squad of 10 models strong who've also taken a Rhino with a Dozer Blade. This will mean your opponent can't necessarily hide from them all that easy. This allows them to sort of transport, but also later in games, they'll be able to sort of move across the table with the transport and sort of take on objective grabbing control as well. But if you've got some ideas on starting with your own Emperor's Children force in the Horus Heresy, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and also drop a comment down below letting us know what you thought about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. You can use one of our affiliate links to Gap Games or Element Games if you're in Australia or the United Kingdom, or you can subscribe to our YouTube members or Patreon, or grab some merch from our merch stores on Teespring or Ko-fi. All the best ways to help support the channel. As a special thanks to all our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Broken Chef, Andy C, Grimskull, Colorblind Magic, Benjamin Swallows, James Cater, Mark Harvey, Domir, Average Wargamer, JJ Austrian, Cure Dynamic, Andrew Bowen, Outer and Shot First, Kenny Lowell and Soren. And to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, the Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, John Castle and Gargamel196. Thank you all once again for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.